Hey guys, Sam Grafton here for Run It Once. So I played a somewhat similar hand, actually at a deeper stack depth. Oh, I guess this is why I thought them together. It was like they were very, very close to each other in the tournament. And now at a deeper stack depth, having won that hand. And I thought they made a nice comparison to look at. So again, we get a board that's incredibly favorable for me. Obviously, there's just a big gap between the cutoff opening range and the button. Obviously, we increase a lot. Not as good as being as that on the hijack as I was against Kadzivami, but cut off good enough to really, really hit this board. Also, particularly nice that as well as the ace queen off, we're going to have queen nine off in this situation. So I go again into big sizing on the flop. Here, obviously, going to have a bit more of a range bet, though, because of the properties I talked about, there's... I don't want to say overcard dynamic, because, of course, it's not, but the king can be outdrawn. And here we turn the 6. So I felt like, rightly or wrongly, this was... as I've pointed out in the last one, pairing the turn card, we saw the 9, when we had sort of jack 9 or queen 9 or 9-8 on the turn, on the ace king 2 board, that we bet it a lot. So I went for it again with the over bet sizing. And we'll, this is one of the decision points that I really want to dial in when we look at sim. So I'll just leave that for now. We called and we get a call, and then on the river, I went all in again and for just a bit more than pot. So very, very, very strong line. I think we'll see a bit of a mistake from me, spoilers, but it worked out in game, which was obviously gratifying. So let's take a look at the sim. We can see, here we are using the big sizing here. See, there's just a very obvious nuts, which our opponent literally doesn't have. They're going to 3-bet ace queen pretty much every time in these positions. So that's going to give us a lot of flexibility with what we could do. But we do want to, obviously a very dynamic board. We want to get value from king jack and set of tens now before the board changes. Obviously, we want to get ace queen value while obviously it's going to be good on a lot of runouts, but while it's pure nuts. I went in the big sizing with 7-6 of diamonds. We can see that already. Pio preferring small sizing. I think that does make sense. Like, this is a flush where if the money all goes in, it's not always good. It's going to be a very, very strong hand, but it's not the nuts, right? It's also a hand, as a result, it's not a hand we're going to be super excited when we get check raised when we use the big sizing. So let's remember that, when we bet the big sizing, we're getting check raised 6% of the time. When we bet the small sizing, getting check raised 10% of the time. This 6% range we're going to be up against, is going to diminish the power of the flush draw, a bit more. It's going to be not fun calling turns in a bloated pot, etc., etc. So I did go big, which, Pio thinks is fine. Again, we can just see that the player pool against the big sizing, I don't think is going to play great. I don't know. My sense is that not a lot of people are folding kings already on the flop. You just want to build your defense, your defense frequency around hands that can make the nuts. You've got the flush draws, you've got the queen, you've got the pairs with the queen, you've got the backdoor flush with the queen. All of those can call, and having the sort of fragile equity, if you like, of a pair is very, very much diminished, and yeah, we're just folding a jack on the flop versus the big sizing, which, yeah, shows the power of the bet sizing that I chose. Ace 8 hearts with the backdoor. We might funnily enough get called by king 6 and get ace 6, ace 8 hearts to fold, which is great. Okay, so they called in game, and so this is, I think, the most interesting. This is, I think, is the most interesting point in the hand from my perspective. The turn was the 6 of clubs, and we can indeed see that it does go for it here, but actually into the smaller sizing. And it uses the 6 a bit less. Oh no, actually, these are two pairs, right? Queen 6. Yeah, it does use the 6. It does use the 6 a decent amount. But what we're card matching with really is you can see that we can't even, because we're betting so big, and we have this nut region, and our opponent, of course, just to go back to my opponent's range for a moment, my opponent does have Queen 9 off in the call some of the time, and yeah, Ace Queen even, when they didn't 3-bet it in the call range, right? So, because of that, the overbet sizing is sort of card matching around the Ace Queen and Queen 9, which is the one that wants to say yeah, we're going to play for stacks here. Like we've got the nuts. We got 16 combos of them, and that's what's driving the action. And the 6 is sort of card matching with the Jack 6. Sorry, Jack 6 doesn't even go into that sizing with, yeah, even King 6. It's just sort of a blocking effect to stop them having that continue. And actually even Queens, which is sometimes, which is sort of a merge. It's like a mega master play where we're going to actually overbet the Queens, get a King to fold and get called by Queen Jack. And then on the river, or Queen Jack is in a good example, Ace Jack. Let's say, because obviously when we've got Queens, we're going to block Queen Jack. We're going to get called by Ace Jack, fold out King 8, call River Brick, and it's going to go check. And we're just going to check down and be like, yeah, we beat you, mate. We got Queens, Ace Jack, is it? So it's, if we're putting in this much money, it's driven around, nuts. It's also that if we beef them up, I haven't fully been through this sim. I guess what we're doing as well is we're actually folding out now. I guess it's not that, when we folded out the flush draw that we beat, the 4 deuce of diamonds, which is a big problem for us, right? We're folding out 5-4 of diamonds and going up against, Ace 9 of diamonds, specifically Queen Jack of diamonds. And that's a big problem for us as well. Beefing up their range just diminishes. Obviously, it's really nice, of course, to be able to hit the 7. And I presume we'll just check that down if we hit a 7, in this big sizing line. Let's imagine we hit the 7 of hearts, check. When we get there, we'll just check 7-6 down. Or hit the trip 6, which is obviously going to be very, very disguised and very nutty. So it is good when we're putting in a lot of money. You want to have a lot of equity, and we can use a pair in this line. But hang on, let me just take it off diamonds a second. Let's just wind it back and look again at our strategy. But yeah, is a slight overplay. Again, it's just blocking effect on their continues. And as I said, it's not as exciting because, again, we're not card matching. Whereas on Ace, King, Deuce, 9, having a 9 is great because we're blocking their continues, and also we're sort of matching up with our King 9 and our Ace 9 and powering through. That's going to be the driver of a lot of the big betting and the overbets. Here, the 6 is a lot less relevant. And so we want to be using, Queen X, right? Queen 8. Yeah. And also in that one, when we hit the 2 pair, it's just not going to be as good, right? Like when we hit 2 pair with 7-6, it's just not that good. And we're also like, even when we hit a flush, we're going to be beat some of the time. So we just want to use the queen where it's a very, very nut out. Even the ace here, right? Ace 9, really, really, really nice hand to have. Ace 6 of spades. Bit of a suit play, I would imagine. Here it does seem to use Ace 6 of hearts. But basically we don't want to have hearts in a hand, I don't think. It would seem to me that those are going to be the folds from our opponent. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, A7 diamonds, fine. Don't want hearts to see if I can find a good example of it. Yeah, Queen 6 of diamonds obviously is a really good hand. Doesn't look like it's that bothered by it. Actually. So, and here it uses 10-9 with a heart more. So yeah, I'm wrong about that in this instance. I'll maybe have a look at that afterwards and post if I can figure out why. So then we got on the river 8 of clubs, and this I think is where we'll see the clearest mistake from me. Is that 7-6 is not going for it here. I think, again, in terms of, I'm assuming this video will come out before Scoop, just in terms of your execution, I think when you're in an aggressive line, you can kind of get a bit carried away with yourself. There's a lot of money out there, and I see a lot of players who are sort of controlled, sometimes too controlled in the small pots. And you can see I've done it myself here. I think it should be very clear to me in this situation that we don't want a diamond in our hands, particularly the 6 of diamonds, where a lot of the calls on the turn are going to come from, they're going to fold a hand like 5-3 of diamonds, but they're themselves calling 6-7 of diamonds, 6-5 of diamonds, right? I think it's a very, very big mistake. And we might even, because we've got such a nut region, right? Like kings, ace, queen, king, jack, tens, like just having offsuit straights, to value shove, we're going to actually be able to force, indifference from a hand like jack 6. I don't know whether people fold in game, but they always play 9-6, 8-6, 7-6 from this. You see, like, actually one of the very worst, A6 of diamonds as well. One of the very worst cards that you can have in your hand, Jack 7 of diamonds. Tough spot on the river, by the way, for them. Queen Jack is as good a call here as, is a better call than 2 pair Jack 6, by the way. Blocking effect, blocking effects the king, queen blocking the ace, queen, queen 9 and the king jack. Obviously really, really good. Really important to think through blockers. King 6 already beginning to get indifferent here on the river. No, I don't want that. You can see king 6 when it goes white, it's basically indifferent between call and fold. Very, very few chips. 51 chips into 12,264. Not an exciting spot to find yourself in. So we can see that I've got 2 terrible blockers. And, I think it's important to catch yourself, in game. You couldn't, it's the old sort of high stakes poker mentality of, you got your children out there, you got to fight for them, you got to protect them. This is a big mistake on my part. And I wanted to show you both sides of the coin that yes, we should be, picking big sizes and pressurizing our opponents, when the board is favorable to us. When we've got these nut combinations which really drive the bet sizes and the bet frequency. We should be putting our opponents to the test. At the same time, assessing each street as it comes and what the combinatorics exactly is, and what, the way in which our actual holding interferes with our opponent's range, and, slamming on the brakes very much, on the river here. Let's just have a look at, all these bluffs that we can find. Queen 7 of spades, pure. Queen 5 of spades, pure. Let's roll. Really, like, this is just a lot of combos, right? Ace 3 of clubs, ace 3 of spades, blocking that ace queen slow play. Really, not interfering with any of the folding region at all. The 3 of spades and ace, two cards that don't interact with their folding range at all. It should be very, very obvious to me in game that, the 6, their cooldowns are not coming from the 2 pair that includes the 6 almost at all. It doesn't interfere with the calling range enough. Anyway, I've emphasized that for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know, any feedback, and wishing you guys good luck in life and in Scoop.